like to have a little fun with our guests when they come on. And so one of the things is we always like to look at what comes up first when you start searching someone.
Googling?
Online.
Emailing,
yeah.
or binging?
We're
You're
binging. We're currently binging. We're not
Let's
Googling.
see what you got.
And so, I gotta say that we have kind of the usual biography, Twitter, divorce, and then Home Depot commercial. So we're gonna take a look at this Home Depot commercial so everyone knows what we're talking about, and then we'll talk about it.
Let's do some serious curb appeal. Let's size up this, spruce up that, and let's not do any of this. Let's go to school. Let's go to save. And then, let's go to town. So then we can go do absolutely nothing. Let's do this.
So, what's having fun? Let's do this. I feel inspired.
Voiceover World is one of the most competitive, interesting things I've ever been a part of in being an actor. People know, if you listen to commercials these days, it's George Clooney and Brad Pitt and huge actors. And believe it or not, all of us are auditioning for them at every level. They don't give those jobs away because movie making has really changed. Actors are not making the same kind of money anymore, so you have to kind of figure out how to augment it in many ways. And particularly if I have a young son at home, and that job, Home Depot, allows me to be at home and record. Literally, I built a closet studio, and he's outside making a lot of racket. I'm in there recording, sometimes the Home Depot. But it's an interesting job because, like I say, it's highly, highly competitive. And George Clooney and Brad Pitt, they audition for these just like I do. And there's a group of us who, you try, and like a lot of actors are trying to get these jobs, and I'm totally grateful for that one.
I mean, let's talk about your family for a moment too, because part of this, being an actor, it's about the craft, it's about loving it, but then there's also celebrity status that comes along. And so obviously every detail of your life ends up being put under so much scrutiny. And so recently, you did split with your wife. What's that like to have to go through a very personal experience like that in the public eye?
It's interesting. My wife actually, or ex-wife actually, is a freelance journalist for the Huffington Post. She writes a lot for the Huffington Post, so you can go on the Huffington Post and look her up and read about our divorce, because she's written about it as well. I think it's because we luckily have worked very hard, not just to keep our privacy, but also to honor each other in the process and be straightforward about the fact that you don't have to be enemies going through, and particularly as a couple with a very young child. We've worked very hard to not just be friends, but be the best parents we can possibly be. And because my ex-wife is a journalist who also writes a lot of personal essays, I've respected and oftentimes pre-read everything she writes, knowing that she's putting out parts of our life publicly. And I don't think my mother loves it, and I think there are people who might say, well, why is this necessary? And honestly, if it wasn't me, that's what her job is, that's what her life is. Like for me, I reference things in my experience as a human being as an actor. You don't necessarily know that that's what I'm doing. But for her, being a personal essayist, what else is she going to write about? I mean, that's what she does.
I guess probably better coming from her than than like gossip mags and paparazzi and stuff like that.
I trust her point of view more than the paparazzi's, that's for sure.
All right, and so I have...
Even though sometimes she wants to kill me, but yes.
I have to ask, too, because there are so many ladies that are curious, are you dating anyone now? What's going on there?
I actually haven't started yet. we're still, in the process, it's all fairly new, and we're still in that process where right now my focus entirely is on my son and being the best dad I can possibly be, and going back to work now, doing the TV series, and I will soon, hopefully.
I think any parent could probably attest to that. It's, when they're young, it's not like solid. It's projectile. So yeah, I got caught